Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Express Weekend Highlight Wrap-Up Show. I'm Tommy Friedenberg. We got Rob Bennett. We got Coach Dan O'Hara. How you guys doing today?
I got Munson.
Oh my god. All kinds of stuff going on here. You don't understand. I don't understand most of it.
From Pop-Warner to the Dome. From 5Ks to marathons. From Little League to Work Leagues. Focusing on the community sports lifestyle in Central New York.
Okay, we are back, and we are going to talk some high school football. A lot of big games over the weekend. Play-in game, Jordan, Elbridge, and Skinny Atlas, won by Skinny Atlas. They're going to be heading up to Lowville in the first weekend of the playoffs next week. Auburn had a big game, not quite into the playoffs yet, but...
No, they're in. They're in.
I know they're in, but they've got one more regular season week, correcto mundo?
Yeah. I'm just saying they're in.
They're going to make it.
I'm just saying.
They are. Big win by Marcellus this week?
Yeah, Marcellus, tough game for them on the road at South Jefferson. Snuck out the win 34-28 on a last-minute 45-yard bomb from Sean Tierney to Jared Salmon.
Nice.
4 receptions for Jared Salmon and 4 completions for Tierney, so that's where all the air yardage went, but also 3 more touchdowns for Nick Kermis, so a little more of the same there. Just kind of keep it plugging away. They're going to face Central Valley Academy in the first round of the playoffs for Class B.
Right.
So looking
sounds good.
for them.
Cato Meridian continues to roll, get the number 1 seed in Class C, beat Adirondack 53-8, and they're going to be hosting Mount Markham in the first round of the playoffs. Great to see Cato getting the number 1 seed, hosting a first round playoff game. Some other big games in Double A. What do we have here? I know Utica Proctor kept things rolling.
They got Christian Brothers Academy who snuck in.
Yeah.
Got a 1-6 record, but they won a game this week to keep their season alive, and they get to travel and play Utica Proctor. So kind of big game for them. Playing with house money, you feel like.
Utica Proctor is nasty.
See, they play the game on the field, not on paper.
Yeah.
So
probably the best team in the area this season. Big win by FM, 42-35 over Baldwinsville. Liverpool took it on the chin to Corning Painted Post, 28-0. CBA 41, Nottingham 35, and Corcoran 20, Henninger 14 in Class AA. Carthage coming up this week. They beat Whitesboro 42-7 over the weekend.
Fambo Azaya.
remember the name?
God bless you.
I think that's his name. Fambo Azai.
Okay.
Yeah. Running back for Carthage, number 32, 117 carries for 1,317 yards, 21 touchdowns. He averages 11.25 yards a carry.
Oof. First down a carry and then change.
Thighs the size of tree trunks.
So that's what Matt Moskov gets to deal with this week?
Yep. That's what he's got to deal with. But listen, they got a pretty good linebacking core, pretty good front four. We'll get into that. They have a kid that I didn't even know existed that showed up Friday night and played, and I just had to ask the coaches, who's this? Yeah. I don't know where he came from. He's only a 10th grader.
Nice.
Jeremiah Phillips.
All right. We'll be hearing big things from him in the future.
I hope so.
Yeah.
He's pretty fun to watch there.
All right. Class B, Solvay remained undefeated, a 55-41 victory at Homer. We talked about Marcellus, Chittenango 16, Camden 14, and Casanova got a big win, 27-6 over Mexico.
Yeah, they get the honor of playing Solvay in the first round of the playoffs, so that's going to be a tough game for them. Solvay's really just been on a roll all season.
Yeah, it's good to see Solvay playing some good football this season as well.
And they've got a potential matchup in the final rematch. The only team Marcellus lost to this year was Solvay. So if both those teams take care of business, I talked to Sean Tierney after their game this week, and he said he's super excited to get some revenge, take back the cup that they lost for the first time since 2007. So that's an interesting storyline to follow in Class B.
Yeah, Marcellus has got to get past their first round of the playoffs. Last year, they were favored going into their first round game and did not come up with the victory there. So Marcellus is hosting who this week?
Central Valley Academy.
Okay.
So also talked to Sean Tierney about them, and he said they didn't know much about Central Valley Academy, but he knew that they played with some really good teams and they played them close, so that they know it's going to be a good game. It's not they're the 4-5 matchup, so it should be an even matchup.
Yeah.
So it should be good stuff out there.
Oh, absolutely. General Brown, I think 4-game winning streak, defeated Hannibal 28-0. Canastota, after their opening matchup with Skinny Atlas, they took that one on the chin. They've won 6 consecutive games, and they are the top seed in that division. Class C, there's a lot of good football teams. It's gonna be a battle. We talked about Cato Meridian. Class D, Onondaga victorious this week, 43-8 over Sandy Creek. Weedsport, 2-0 victory in developmental football. No, that's 8-man football.
Like to see it. Defensive struggle. You're a defensive guy, right, Dan?
No, that's a forfeit win. Weedsport and Pulaski both won by forfeit in the 8-man league. So playoffs coming up this weekend should be a lot of fun in all the divisions except for A. We talked about the Carthage-Auburn game. That's going to be a regular season matchup. You going to that game, Coach?
I'm going to make the trip.
Nice.
I think I owe it to these kids to cover it. They're just fun to watch, and I want to go.
Wow. Does that have anything to do with your semi-professional buddies up in Carthage?
It does.
I figured.
There'll be a little
Snag.
after game brouhaha.
Brew.
Yeah.
Syracuse took it on the chin again.
Yeah, they did. They're really having a much more disappointing season than I think people thought.
Yeah.
I think expecting them to be the same team they were last year with the quarterback turnover might have been a little much, and they're proving that this year. They just can't really seem to get out of their own way. They have opportunities, and at state they had a chance to go down the field and win it in the last minute.
Yeah.
Penalties, they couldn't do it. They had a chance to stop Pitt this week and get the ball back. Couldn't do it. So it's really a game of inches, but they're still looking for a win against a Power 5 team. They don't have one of those yet. We've got some highlights, though. It was an exciting game, and here we go in the first quarter. Sterling Hoffrichter punched it. This is Maurice French. Stud for Pitt. He fumbles the fair catch. Really nobody touches him. That's his first fumble in his career. He is a senior, been really good for them, but loose hands there. That would lead to this play here. As you see, Syracuse has the ball. Tommy DeVito airing the ball out. He gets the ball to, could have been 2 players, but Nykeem Johnson hauls it in for 29 yards. That would lead to an Andre Schmidt field goal here, 28 yards to tie the ball game up. But how would the Panthers respond? Well, they had a few tricks up their sleeve. Here we go. We've got Aaron Matthews giving the ball to A.J. Davis, who gives it back to Matthews and airs the ball out to Kenny Pickett. 10-7 lead for Pitt after that 42-yard touchdown. And here we go, right before the end of the half. This is French redeeming himself, 14-yard touchdown. Pitt was up 24-6 at halftime. But here's how Syracuse would start the second half. We've got Welch in here, Christian Welch. He throws his first touchdown of his career, 94 yards. Taj Harris, takes it to the house. First career touchdown pass for Welch. 24-14, we got a game. He loves it. Now here we go, into the fourth quarter. Welch again, nice drive, 15 plays, 75 yards, ends with this Aaron Hackett touchdown. 7-point game now after their conversion is good, but they need to get a stop, and they look like they have A.J. Davis stopped, but he squirts through. That would ice the game. 27-20 win. Pittsburgh comes into the Dome, beats the Orange. Like I said, they had their opportunities, but slow offense, some fumbles, lots of punts, and that's what you get. That's what happens.
So 2 weeks in a row, Syracuse gets beat by a trick play.
Yep.
Trickeration, is that what we said last week?
Mm-hmm. Yep, State pulled one off in a sort of similar timing, but they just weren't ready for it. And it looked like it wasn't the most prettily executed trick play, but they all bit, and they had the guy wide open. So
okay, Cuse falls 2-3-4. Got some work to do to become playoff bowl eligible.
They do, which it looks like that's at the beginning of the season, you would have thought they were going to be vying for a good bowl, maybe a New Year's Six bowl, even if not a playoff spot, of course. But it looks like now bowl eligibility is what they're going to be rooting for.
Last year when I went to the spring game, I wasn't impressed with the O-line. Eric Dungy, people were, saying, oh, he's not he's no Tommy DeVito. I disagreed. I stuck on the bandwagon saying this is the reason why Syracuse is doing as well as they are, because he's not afraid to go out and take some shots and get upfield. And I went to the spring game again this year, talked to, Dan Connolly a little bit, and that O-line didn't look any better. So I said, if, Tommy DeVito isn't the second coming of, Donovan McNabb, it's going to be a tough road. And it has been. I mean, their offensive line they're just not good.
Sacks,
they're
quarterback hits, penalties,
they're not where they need to be.
Well, we're talking about the line. You saw those Christian Welch touchdown passes. Is there a quarterback controversy in Orange Land right now?
I don't know. What was he came out, he replaced DeVito after a fumble that Syracuse recovered. And he led a couple good drives. He had that obviously 94-yard touchdown, and that touchdown to Aaron Hackett, that was after a 75-yard drive, 15 plays methodical down the field. So he can move the ball, it looks like, but we're just gonna have to see where they line up in practice, who gets the reps.
Tune in next week. Maybe a little
Yes,
quarterback
Yes,
controversy in Orange Land. Dan, let's talk some Auburn football. Here we go.
It was cold. Listen, cold doesn't really affect me too much, but Friday night it was pretty cold. The beginning of the game, I think each team had 3 possessions, and Auburn couldn't move the ball. Don't know what was going on with the play calling. Looks like they were doing a lot of option. Troy wasn't pitching the ball. I know he didn't really have options to pitch the ball because, they had their eyes on Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of went back and forth. I thought I was going to fall asleep a little bit. And then ESM's third possession, they went down the field, 10 plays. Here's 10th play of the drive. Quarterback finds running back number 6. He goes in the end zone. And they would kick the extra point, 0-7, ESM up on top. Auburn would get the ball here. Troy doing a little field work. There's Leon Atkins Jr. gets the first down of the game. And the next play, Troy Cherney to Robert Morris, 46-yard touchdown pass to him. Auburn would line up for the extra point, but 12 men on the field for ESM. Half the distance, they decide to go for 2. Here's Troy, throws it up to Shaheed Beal. Little Beal moves over the top, good vertical. Little extracurricular at the end of it. 8-7 Auburn. ESM would get to the 13-yard line, go for it on 4th down. They were denied, so Auburn takes over. 3rd and 10, Shaheed Beal. He's gone. 80-something yards for a touchdown, but, if you look at this play and you break it down, it's all the O-line. The O-line just played fantastic. You got Mahunik, Butler, Calarco at center, left guard Simpson, and then Keishan Cooper. And they just did a phenomenal job blocking here. Play goes, left guard pulls, Keishan Cooper gets a pancake, good double team and seal here. Beal makes the linebacker look silly with a Beal move. And he gets to the outside and great awareness of these guys downfield. Leon Atkins Jr. and Dante Herndon just get huge blocks to spring them. And Beal is gone, 16-7 Auburn. So ESM would get the ball, and of course, this 2-point conversion. I slowed this down because you can enjoy it. Troy just flips it to Leon Atkins. It was awesome. 2 feet in bounds, good enough for the NFL, good enough for high school. That's good. ESM would get the ball, and Auburn likes to hit. So here's Troy and Owen Spearing saying hello. So flag, 4th down. Beal moves alert. I got to slow this down so you can enjoy it. I watch it full speed. I pull a hammy. Ball hits the ground. He takes it left, right, left, right, left. And hits the sideline. Dante Herndon, again, good block there. Beal reads it. Another block there. He's gone. Jameer Grimes would add the extra point on this. He kicks pretty good for a youngster. That's good. 23-7, 6:20 left in the second. ESM would get the ball. Connor Mahunik on defense. Great job reading it, gets inside, scrapes down, makes the play. Owen Spearing over the top. 4th down conversion, I slowed it down. I don't know how they got this off. That was a huge false start that nobody saw other than me and the rest of the fans. So they would convert on that. It's more disgusting in full speed because it really shows false start. But, next play, Owen Spearing forced an early pass. Auburn would get the ball. And, hey, Owen did good on defense. Let's give him some love on offense. Great pitch and catch here. Gets down the field. Very next play. Why not? Let's give Owen some love. Catches it in traffic. Good pass by Troy. He's on the money. Owen would get in the end zone. He's
That's your
tired. Take a
linebacker,
break.
right?
So ESM would take over, or this is the end of the first half. The ball just slips out of the quarterback's hands. Connor Mahunik does a scoop and score. He's gone. So that would end the half, 36-7. Grimes would miss the PAT. So Auburn gets the ball to start the second half. They get down just outside the red zone. Beal takes it. He gets hit. Fumbles the ball. ESM would take over. And so would this kid, number 33, Jeremiah Phillips. I don't know where he came from, but this kid he
Suplex.
yeah, I had to ask the coaches, who's 33? Here he is. He's just left. He's on the outside of Robert Morris. Goes all the way across the field. Says hello to the quarterback. Full body press. He's excited. Here he is out of frame. He'll come into frame as a blur. He shoots cross, hits a running back, makes a play here. Same thing. He's out in coverage. He's out of frame. Here he is. Comes in, reads it inside, makes a play. And, hey, fourth quarter late, what do? Give it to Davari Agee. I lost sight of him because he's actually pretty fast. 41-yard run for him. And this is the dozer play. This would end the night. Give it to Agee. Let me see how many guys I can carry into the end zone for the score. ESM would put points on the board. They'd get another touchdown. But, it was cold. Everybody's bundled up. But Auburn would take it 43-14.
And Agee showing some wheels and some strength. I've
Yeah,
seen him
lost
play
him.
a lot.
Lost him. I had that. All of a sudden, he's down the sidelines.
They've got a lot of weapons with Beal and Robert Morris. And you got Mahunik and Spearing, who are really good athletes, but they're just not. They're not Shaheed Beal, so they're not going to get the ball as much.
I did a lot of breaking down this offensive line, and hopefully at the year end we can go over some of that. These guys, that offensive line plays really, really well. Calarco at center, I don't think he's had a bad snap all year. He just gets downfield, makes blocks, good at second level. They do very good at double team and peel. They get to the second level. So there's a lot of plays like that where, they wouldn't have those running yards if it wasn't for the offensive line. They do a great job with it. The one kid there, Jacob Simpson, he actually filled in at DN for Robert. Robert had a little injury. I don't know if he had a cramp or something, but he was making plays at DN, Connor Mahunik style. And I see a lot of guys coming out that, you don't normally see in the mix. Yeah. The Jeremiah Phillips, I was just absolutely impressed with him. So, you add that to what they already have, the Keishan Coopers, the Owen Spearings, and you just increased your depth. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's very, very interesting to see how Matt Moscow plays Carthage, how he looks at that running game. And, you look at the passing yards from Carthage, there's not a lot there in the passing game. They pretty much rely on him. So, I think it's going to be a pretty good game. If the guys stay in their run lanes and take care of the responsibilities, I don't know what kind of kid this is to bring down when he's carrying the ball, but you look at guys like Owen Spearing and Keishan Cooper, and they have no problem going low. Yeah, and that's how they make their living back there. So,
all right. Statistically, Auburn had a very, very dominating performance. 451 total offensive yards. Troy Cherney, 7 for 13 passing for 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Also rushed for 65 yards. Shahid Beal, 9 rushes for 151 yards. Those
That's
Beal
efficient.
moves just
That's
keep on coming. Owen Spearing, 2 catches, 89 yards. Leon Atkins Jr., 1 catch, 13 yards. Robert Morris had that touchdown that we talked about. So Auburn spreading the ball out nicely and doing some great things.
Yeah, and Troy was just throwing darts. He really was. I mean, you saw the pass to Owen Spearing. He was on the money there. No room for error when he threw into double coverage. He hit him right in the numbers.
Showed some great touch too, though, with that 2-point conversion.
little
flick, little.
I
floater
started
almost,
laughing. The
teardrop.
camera was shaking. I thought it was awesome. But, you look at the outside on the edges, the Dante Herndons, the Leon Atkins, they can block, and they're very aware of what's going on around them. So, once they get outside that tackle or get inside out of that tackle, they've got guys that are aware that can block on the field. So, be a long ride to Carthage, but I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Should be a good game. Deep teams are the ones that upset guys. So
yeah, and you got right now Class A semifinals is all set. Carthage sitting at 6-1, Indian River at 6-1, Auburn at 6-1. Carthage is the only team of those three that are 4-0 in that division. So, there's a game to be played for fourth place, but probably Carthage will play the fourth place. Indian River and Auburn will go at it, and got to get by Carthage. I think Carthage for Auburn, I believe, is the staple game. I really believe that. I think that if they can beat Carthage, they have a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. And I think taking care of Fambo Azaya would be a big feather in their cap moving forward. So
all right.
we'll see.
Your guys, Spearing and Keishan and the rest of those guys look like they've got a lot of work to do, but hopefully they can come out victorious.
yeah, and it's
Go Maroons.
Nice to see the kids, like, I guess you could say, blossoming. Coming into their game. Yeah. You got Robert Morris, who just seems to get better and better every week at DN. I know he had a little injury, but they threw the Jacob Simpson in there, and he did a pretty good job.
That's great.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens in Carthage. 7:00 Friday night.
Oh yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, I will be up in Louville on Friday night, so we won't be all that far away. Both up in the North Country. Maybe we can commute together. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll stick around. I'll head to Marcellus.
Sounds good. All right. So Skinny Atlas in Jordan Elbridge ended up being a big game last week, competing for that third spot in the division, which could have led and in fact did lead to a playoff berth. Little trash talking going on during the week between those two schools. Couple players used to play for Jordan Elbridge, now playing for Skinny Atlas. Freshman running back Grayson Brunel and senior defensive lineman Evan Brunel, which, with the line issues that Skinny Atlas has had this year, boy, as much as Grayson has been such a big part of everything that they've been doing, it's been Evan Brunel has really been the heart and soul of both the offensive line and defensive line. So big game out in Jordan Elbridge, and Skinny Atlas seemed to get their swagger back a little bit right from the get-go. First series, we've seen this before. Quick shuffle pass to Nick Womp, gets in, and the Lakers take a quick 7-0 lead. But Jordan Elbridge comes right back a couple series later. Some missed tackles, some bad pursuit angles by the Lakers, and Avante Brown from Jordan Elbridge scampers down for a 50-yard plus touchdown. Skinny Atlas, a couple series later, battles right back. And here we go. Freshman running back Grayson Brunel, untouched into the end zone, keeping his very, very strong freshman season going. Here, James Musso just picks up the ball and makes a play. Sophomore quarterback. Yeah, makes something out of nothing. Sophomore quarterback gets into the end zone. Grayson Brunel once again says a hello at the goal line and barrels over one of his former teammates at Jordan Elbridge there. That might have led to a little trash talking as
some
well.
chirping.
Here we go. We've seen this before. Musso drops back. Hello, Nick Wamp. Touchdown. One of his numerous touchdowns on his illustrious career. Keeping things going. This time, a little revenge on Grayson Burnell. One-on-one on the outside. Kind of feet get tangled up a little bit. And that's Alexander Pond to Eric Ryan for a 53-yard touchdown. Jordan Elbridge trying to stay into it, but at the end, just too much. Skinny Atlas here again. Musso rolls out to the left. Collins Cox, number 87, junior wide receiver, gets into the end zone. Keeping things going. And midway through the third quarter, Nick Wamp strikes again. Musso drops back. Lets it go. Nick Wamp just outruns everyone for his last touchdown of the day. Things got a little bit out of hand in the fourth quarter, and some subs got into the game. It's one play that is near and dear to my heart.
You know any of these subs that got in, Rob?
Yeah, I do know. Number 6, Ashton Bennett gets in playing some cornerback. That's right. Playing some man, comes off the ball, makes an interception late in the game. I might have gotten a little excited on the sideline there. So sophomore Ashton Bennett making an interception, and I try not to do that type of thing, but it's his first varsity interception. So
well, you showed me that earlier, but you didn't tell me it was your kid.
Yeah, come on, man.
I wouldn't have been so critical.
Yeah. So
high point.
Good game for Skinny Atlas back on track. It's going to be a tough battle up at Lowville. But, Lowville runs a spread. Skinny Atlas faced a lot of spread teams through the years, and Joe Sindoni and his crew can't bet against them. I think at this time they may run up against a team that's got a little bit more athleticism than they have just because they're so young. But should be a lot of fun up in Lowville next weekend. We'll see what happens.
And watching the film, not a lot of fire on that Jordan Elbridge D-line offensive line.
Yeah.
You guys got to bring it, man.
Yeah, Coach Fiacchi was doing a lot of yelling during that entire game, and they've got some good players there at Jordan Elbridge, and Fiacchi's a great coach, and I know he's doing a lot of stuff there, so I'm sure there'll be better going on in the future.
It's all about heart, man. You got to want it.
That is absolutely the name of the game. Another Skinny Atlas promotion, our last modified game today. I had the opportunity to coach the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade modified team, and 7-0 win over West Hill. A lot of 9th graders playing their last modified game and moving up to varsity. I know I'm forgetting some people. I apologize, but Jake Williams, PJ Kennedy, Cater Bradley, Sean Johnson, Sam Weiss, Nate Shattuck, Ethan Hunt, Peyton Banuski, and Nathan Danello did a lot of good stuff for our modified program this year. Typically we try to run spread offense just like our varsity team does, but this year with 4 of the freshmen being up on varsity, we had to change things. Went a little ground and pound against West Hill and Phoenix last week, and boys really responded and got tougher as football players and got better. So we'll see what the future holds for those guys, but could not be more proud of their effort today. And it was a great season for Skinny Atlas Modified Football.
Good job, Coach Bennett.
Well done.
Absolutely.
How about that youth football game?
I'm going to let you talk about that.
That was incredible. We did a live stream there for Skinny Atlas played Geneva, and the Geneva kids come out, and I was like, man, these kids are big.
Bigger than my modified team.
Man, they had some monsters out there, but Skinny Atlas, they played well. We had Dakota Wilson, number 55, Dallas Wilson's brother, just walk in, grab the microphone, and start commentating. And
get him in the booth.
That was the most fun that I've had in a while.
It's
fun doing games with Tommy, but Dakota was a little bit more fun.
It's not the same.
You get a little different insight, but
he really did.
Great
job.
Jordan Elbridge, Skinny Atlas, they that come right down to the wire, and
too close,
way too close. Maybe a little coaching error on time clock management, but they pulled it off. And who was the I don't know the names like you do, number 17 there,
Braden Mayer.
I was critical on him early on about not going up to get a pass, but he basically said, "Yeah, whatever." And that kid can play football.
He's a heck of a football
Yeah,
player.
he's pretty good. Dallas Wilson just smacking people, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
Very, very good game. Skinny Atlas gets out to a 13-6 lead. Geneva's got the ball at the goal line late in the game. Big interception by Christopher Dashna.
Nice.
And then Hugh Carroll takes the ball out of the end zone and gets it out to the 15-yard line. And all is looking good. But then with more than a minute left on the clock, they started taking a knee. And to make a long story short...
Yeah, I said they don't have enough time to take a knee. So Geneva got the ball. They put it in the end zone. It was 12-13. They went for the PAT. And, from where I was sitting, I thought he was in. But
Really?
Skinny Atlas stopped him with no time left on the clock and came away with the win. But
My guy Hugh Carroll was kind of slinging it around a little bit, throwing some nice passes. And
wow. Joe Sidoni, watch this kid
I've been
because
telling him.
he's pretty solid. He
Yeah.
throws a beautiful ball.
He does. Yeah, so he'll be coming up to my modified team next year. So
Yeah.
it'll be good. Coach Pallarino. Coach Pallarino's modified team. I'm just kind of along for the ride, but I'm the grumpy old man that just yells and screams and acts miserable all the time. So
You got to develop the talent somehow.
Yeah,
Everybody needs that guy.
you gotta have your role.
So you're the bad
Absolutely.
I'm the bad cop. Absolutely.
cop? All right, we should hang out more.
Yeah. What else we got?
All right, what else do we got, Dan?
That's it. Pretty much the youth wrapped up, except for Auburn Mighty Might. They won big, so
Yes.
they're moving on.
Coach
And,
get injured at all this week?
I don't know. I had a lot going on. I had to go watch my grandson play a little
Nice.
soccer. He's pretty good at soccer. But a lot of youth sports going on this weekend, final weekend for the Finger Lakes League. I know
Absolutely.
that. But Pop-Warner, Mighty Might's moving on.
Nice.
So hopefully we can get some coverage of that game. And
High school playoff football, soccer playoff starting, volleyball playoff starting, some big races in the
excited.
cross country world. We need your help, people. Please contact us with your photos, with your stories, with your content, and we'll get it out on this channel, out through
Absolutely.
social media. Rob at sxpnetwork.com, Rob at sxpnetwork.com.
Tommy at bysnetwork.com, at bysnetwork on Twitter. Also, give us a follow. Backyard Sports Network on Facebook. Like us, share our stuff, all that good stuff.
what they said.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Hey,
Really
listen,
help
somebody
us cover you.
in Cato help us out. We want to get over there and film these guys and
Without a doubt.
give them some love because they're rolling. So
Athletic Director Dave Scholl, get us some people to get us some content. We need your help.
that's a wrap, right?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Friday
It's a
night.
wrap on the wrap-up.
Friday night. Auburn Carthage. I'm a little excited.
Skinny Atlas Lawville.
Got to be excited.
Marcellus Central Valley Academy.
Alrighty.
All the games, all the big ones.
Be there, be square.
Okay.
All right. That's a wrap. See you next week.